Fancy a macaroon?
No, not really. I fancy something, though. Have we got any of them other ones left?
Yes. Here you are. They've gone a bit soft, though.
That's all right. I'm only going to dip them in my tea.
There should be a couple of bandits in there somewhere. Here we are. One left. Pass it over to Jonathan. All right. We'll have to start stocking up again this week. Have a fag.
Oh, that's all right, Dennis. I'll have a roll-up.
Go on.
Well, I don't like to keep smoking yours.
Don't let it worry you, Walter. I've got plenty.
Well, I'd like to cut down myself. You can't very well in here with everyone else fagging away.
Well, I don't intend to cut down. No. The sooner I get to the cemetery, the better off I'll be.
It's more the expense as far as I'm concerned. I can't keep up with it.
Hello, sister.
This is Carmel. Carmel, this is Dennis, Walter and Jonathan. Hello.
How do you do?
Perhaps you'd like to sit down here with Dennis and Walter for now. I'll come see you a bit later on. All right? Thank you, sister.
Like a cup of tea, dear?
Yes, please, I'd love one.
I'll get you one.
No, I'll get it.
It's my turn, Dennis.
The kitchen's just out there. You can help yourself to tea or coffee any time you like.
Not sure yet if I'll be staying.
Oh, I see.
I don't think I like the look of the place. It's not what I expected.
You soon get used to it.
How long you been here?
About 4 or 5 weeks, I think. I'm not quite sure.
The doctor said I wouldn't be here for long. I come in quite voluntary, of course. I can walk straight out again if I want to. What's the matter with that fella kicking the door in?
Oh, Geoffrey. He probably wants a drink.
Couldn't he get himself a cup of tea?
He don't want a cup of tea. He's an alcoholic.
Jesus. Aren't there many like him in here?
Oh, yes. We've got about half a dozen on this ward.
Didn't think I was going to be put in with a load of drunks. What's that?
Sounds like someone's had an accident in the kitchen. What's happening out there?
Oh, it's that woman having a go again. The one with the big knockers. Oh, beg your pardon.
Edna, you mean?
That's the one. Sister gave her a telling off for dumping a pile of dishes in the sink, so she takes all the dishes out of the sink and chucks them on the floor. You're supposed to wash your dishes up after you. Some of them seem to think it's beneath their dignity.
It's best to have your own supply of sugar. There is supposed to be sugar out in the kitchen, but it keeps on disappearing all the time.
By the way, Carmel, you can help yourself to tea or coffee any time you like.
I told her.
The only trouble is, though, the milk keeps running out. 24 pints they have delivered every morning. Never seems to last the day out.
By rights, you should be able to have a cup of Bournvita of a night time. But it's not very often you get the chance.
Some of them are just plain greedy, especially the alcoholics. I've seen 1 or 2 of them drinking it glass after glass.
I reckon the nurses walk off with it myself.
We've tried keeping our own out here, but it soon goes off.
Help yourself to a biscuit, Carmel.
Better not. I'm supposed to be on a diet.
What for? You're not fat.
Oh, I am to what I used to be.
She's not fat, is she, Walter?
Of course not. Go on, a biscuit won't hurt you.
Carmel, the social worker will be coming to see you tomorrow. Thank you, sister. Don't tell me you get paid for being in here.
No, it's pocket money.
Don't you get the sickness benefit?
We've used it all up. We've gone on to Social Security. They pay your rent, and the hospital gives you something to spend.
I'm already on the supplementary benefit. Not that I would be if I didn't have to be. That bastard will pay up the bit of maintenance. I wouldn't have to go begging to the government. How much do they give you to spend?
£2.65.
Is that all?
Yeah, don't go far by the time you got your bits and pieces. Washing powder, morning papers, and your cigarettes, of course. This place makes you smoke. You'd think they'd put a stop to it being doctors.
They daren't, or they might have a riot on their hands. Would you like one?
That's very nice of you, Dennis. But to tell you the truth, I'm trying to cut down. But I smoked a packet of 10 while I was waiting to see the doctor.
Which one did you see?
Didn't get his name. Young fella, quiet sort of chap.
Was he wearing a sort of navy blue blazer?
That's right.
Oh, that's Harwood. We have him.
Did you notice all the dandruff on his shoulders?
I did, as a matter of fact. I remember thinking to myself, while he was listening to my chest, you can't wear navy blue if you suffer from dandruff. Wonder if he realises.
He's only been here a few weeks. He come about the same time as me. How long have I been here?
I don't know, 4 to 5 weeks, I suppose.
Must be getting on for that.
None of them stay very long. You know, sooner get used to one than somebody else comes in and takes over. Of course, they're all only training for the job. The last one we had was a woman. Lovely looking. First time I saw her, she asked me all sorts of questions about my married life. How did I get on with my wife in bed? And what did I do with all the other women that I knew before I met her? I thought it must be leading up to something.
He tried asking me some of them questions. I told him to mind his own business. I don't suppose there's any place I can get a packet of cigarettes.
Well, there is a little shop down the corridor.
It's not much good, though. They only have a few brands. Have these for now, and I'll get you some when I go out. I'll be going down to Mac Market a bit later.
You allowed to go out to the shops?
Of course you are. You can go out anywhere you like. Unless they said you couldn't.
They didn't say anything at all. I just thought if you was in hospital, you'd have to stay put.
Oh, no. They like you to get out and about as much as you can.
Yeah, well, they won't let me go out on my own, though. Not at the moment.
Yes, but you can go out with a party. They took us on an outing the other week. Up the Imperial War Museum.
Wouldn't be my idea of a good time.
We didn't go round or look at any of the things.
No, we just sat in the cafeteria and had a cup of tea and a cake. It was a nice ride out, though, wasn't it?
Doesn't sound right to be gadding about like that. And when the doctors had come into hospital, I thought I was going to be put into a bed.
Oh, they don't like you stopping in bed. If anyone tries it on, they soon have a gang of nurses around the bedside. Come on, get up. You'll feel better when you've had a nice shower. Of course, if you're really ill, they have to send you over to St. Luke's.
Every now and then you get someone take an overdose. So they take them over to St. Luke's, give them the stomach pump. The next day they're back in here again.
Mind you, there's nothing to stop you lying on the bed, as long as you get up and put your clothes on first. There's quite a few of them spend all day just lying on top of the bed, mostly the women. A load of blooming miseries, some of them.
Oh, it strikes me women need more rest than men. I mean, you rarely see a woman out before 9 o'clock in the morning, but the men are up and dressed and sitting out here be about 7:30.
If you see a man coming into your dormitory, by the way, don't get alarmed. He'll only be coming in to have a bath.
Yeah, we've only got showers in our dormitory. I mean, showers is all very well, but I like to sit my bum in a bath at least once a week.
There's one bloke you have to watch, though, Charlie.
Yeah.
He likes to strip down to his underpants and then make out he's forgotten his soap. Gives him a good excuse to have a streak past the women's bed.
He's only a young fella.
At least it sounds like he's got a bit of life in him.
Anyone want another cup of tea?
Oh, yes, please.
Wouldn't mind.
Shame about Dennis, really. He tried to do himself in. Took a few Panadol and then turned on the oven.
Well, you can't kill yourself with the North Sea gas.
No, I know. But he came to a few hours later, thought to himself, I must have a cup of tea, lit the gas under the kettle, and boom! The whole kitchen went up. He was all right, though, luckily. Only singed his hair. I'm not talking about him behind his back. It was all in the local paper. He'll show you the cutting if you ask. Nurse! It's all right.
Let's get him into the dormitory.
Will he be all right?
Oh, yeah, he'll be round in a couple of minutes.
What's the matter with him?
Well, it's difficult to say, really. He's gradually been going deaf over the years, and he's weak on his legs through sitting about in hospitals most of his life. They're not sure for certain what causes the fits, but they reckon he's just looking for attention. He'll get a good telling off when he does come round. Jonathan's had a fit.
I thought he was going to die when I saw him falling on the floor.
You don't want to let him worry you.
Is he not able to speak at all?
Oh, yes, he can speak all right in a funny sort of way, but he can't take part in a conversation. He generally plays the stylophone of an evening, from the music line. He doesn't exactly keep perfect rhythm, but we sometimes manage to have a bit of a sing-song.
Oh, the poor thing. Isn't that an awful shame?
Oh, no, he's all right, really. He's got a regular girlfriend. She's deaf as well. Comes to visit him once a fortnight.
That, here comes trouble.
Shall I see you now, Walter?
Oh.
Right.
Just between you and me, Carmel, while I think of it, if you ever see Walter walking out on his own, tell one of the nurses quietly.
Why? He's not dangerous, is he?
Not exactly, but he can be a bit foul-mouthed. So don't go after him yourself if you do see him sneaking out. He has got out a couple of times. They had to inform the police. I soon found him the last time, in a wimpy bar. He reckons he can't remember nothing about it. It's the shock treatment makes him lose his memory.
What shock treatment? Electric shock, you mean?
That's right.
My God. I'm getting out of here.
No, it's all right. They don't give it to everyone. There's only a couple of them have it. Walter's been having it for years, on and off. He reckons it makes a new man of him. Must be something in it. He's always first in the queue.
What's wrong with him?
He don't get on with his wife, by all accounts.
I didn't get on with my husband.
Well, I got on with my wife. But she didn't get on so well with me. She preferred one of me mates.
You divorced, Dennis?
Oh, no.
I am.
Are you?
Yes. He was a foreigner.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Came from Mauritius.
Oh, I see. Whereabouts is that?
God only knows. I had a look on my son's globe a few times, but I never seen any sign of it at all. For all I know, there's no such place. He always was a liar, the bastard.
I think it does exist, you know. Mauritius. Sounds like a place a nephew of mine went to when he was in the Merchant Navy.
Where the devil is it, I wonder?
Somewhere on the tropical side.
He had a dark skin, all right. He wasn't exactly coloured. Well, he was, but he wasn't black, you know what I mean.
Oh, yes. You're Irish yourself, aren't you?
What about it?
Nothing. I was just passing a comment.
I'm Irish and I'm not ashamed of it. Wish to God I'd married one of the boys back home.
You always take a chance, whoever you pick. My wife had the self-same background as me. So did the bloke she ran off with, come to think of it. He was much the same build as me and all, same height, same age, done the same job. Only where I worked my way up through experience, he had his City and Guilds certificate. Maybe that's what impressed her. I don't know. It wouldn't be so bad if only she hadn't taken the girl. Look, there she is. It's my Susan. She'll be 14 next April.
She's like you, isn't she? This is my lot.
I can see you've done a good job, Carmel.
I managed them on my own for 5 years.
I'm sorry to be like this.
Don't worry. Me father was always crying.
I can't seem to stop myself, no matter how many pills I take. They don't do any good.
Did you ever get the palpitations, Dennis?
No, I don't think so.
That's what I have. Your heart starts beating ever so loud, and so fast you think it's going to explode. The doctor says it's just nerves, but I think there's something serious wrong. I had an attack this morning in the post office. That's why they brought me in here.
You probably need a rest. You ought to try and enjoy yourself now you're here.
Maybe I will. I'll let them all get on with it at home. They're old enough.
Perhaps we could go to the pictures one night.
Do they let you out at night?
Oh, yes, you can stop out as long as you like. If you're late, you just have to ring the bell.
Well, I don't know.
Or we could go in the afternoon, if you prefer.
How are you feeling today, Walter?
Oh, not too bad, thank you, Doctor. I'm still putting on weight, though. Mostly round the middle. I think it must be them tablets what's doing it.
Have you been eating any more than usual?
Oh, no. I don't eat a lot. Probably not getting enough exercise. I'd feel better if you'd let me go out. I'm getting bored with having to wander around the garden.
How was the weekend at home?
Well, she had to bring me back on the Saturday night. She said I got angry and called her an old I don't like to say it in front of you. To tell you the truth, I don't remember saying it to her. But she insists that I did. All I know was I was trying to listen to me records. Of course, she thinks it's only background music, talks her head off all the way through. I mean, I'm trying to follow Shirley Bassey, and she's keeping on about the sink being all blocked up. Well, it's not my fault, is it? I'm in here. She's the one that gets it blocked up. I know for a fact she pushes baked beans down the plug hole. And she washes her hair in the kitchen sink, filthy cow. I'm the one who's supposed to rake it out, though. Oh, yes. Here, and guess what? She's gone on to having tablets herself now. Them little pink ones like I used to have. She said the doctor round the corner has warned her that she's heading for a breakdown. He thinks she should be in here instead of me. Well, if they do have to have her in here, could you tell them to put her on a different ward?
How'd you get on?
Well, same as usual, really. You don't seem to know what you're on about half the time.
I'd feel a lot happier if I saw him taking notes.
Well, he never writes nothing down.
No, it must all go in one year and out the other.
How often do you see the doctor?
2 or 3 times a week at first. Then it tails off to just the once a week.
You can always have a chat with one of the nurses, though.
Yeah, if you can manage to tell them apart from the patients. I haven't got a lot of time for them myself.
Oh, we're on a cushy little number here. Sitting about all day gossiping, giggling among themselves about their boyfriends. Good.
They don't take the job a bit serious. One of the young ones come on duty the other morning, straight from an all-night party. She was staggering about all day with her eyes half closed.
I feel more settled with the night staff myself.
They wear a uniform. You know where you are with them.
Tablet time. We have to go and queue up at the counter.
Carmel, if you'd like to go up to the counter, they'll give you a Valium.
A Valium?
Yes. Dr. Howard says you can have one 3 times a day.
I'm already taking some tablets 3 times a day.
You handed them over to Dr. Harwood, remember?
I thought he'd be handing them back. I only let him look at them to see what they were.
We're not going to be giving you any more of those.
Oh, but you can't stop them just like that. My doctor says I'm not to come off them abruptly or I'd have some very bad side effects.
Well, if you do, you're in the best place to have them.
That's not bloody well fair. What'll happen if I get the palpitations?
Valium should help.
It will not. I'm immune to the friggin' things. I might just as well swallow a pole of mint for all the good it'll do me. I want my own tablets back. You've no right to take them away.
Would you like to come and have a lie down?
I would not. I want to have a word with the doctor. Where is he?
He's gone to lunch. Now just sit down for a minute.
Get over and leave me alone. And I thought you were going to do something for me in here.
I'm only on Valium myself. Plus a Mogadon of a night time. What were you taking before?
Amitriptyline.
Oh, I know. I've had them. Poor old Walter. He has to have Largactil.
Oh, yeah, make your stomach swell up, something rotten.
But yours is not so bad. But there's a few fellows in here who look as if they're 6 months pregnant.
And you can't sit out in the sunshine if you're taking them, neither. Oh, well. Shall we go down the canteen, Carmel?
Hadn't you better warn her about the food?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I don't go down of a dinner time myself. I go to a little cafe down the road.
He's not like us, him. He's got a bank account. You could always have a salad if you don't like the look of the hot dinner.
There's one woman in here, she never goes down the canteen, stays in the dormitory all the time. You'll see her come out to the kitchen 3 or 4 times a day to get a marmalade sandwich.
Well, the Nationals don't give so much money for food in a mental hospital.
This is not exactly a mental hospital, is it?
Of course it is.
What did you think it was?
I mean, it's not like a lunatic asylum. They don't have anybody raving mad in here.
Oh, they do. Only they put them all together in the mansion.
That's the big house over the other side. They keep them under lock and key.
Oh, my God. Do they have padded cells and all?
Oh, no. They have separate bedrooms, all done up, very smart.
One of the men off this ward got a transfer over there. We went to visit him. Well, more to have a look, really, see what it was like. Very quiet. He hadn't got much to say for himself, not like when he was in here, yelling and shouting. He's got a big black nurse watches over him now, like an heavyweight champion.
They get weighted on hand and foot over there.
Might be worth me while to let them think I've gone completely round the bend.
Shall we go?
Do you want anything down the shops?
Cigarettes.
Oh, we want some biscuits, don't forget.
Right. What shall I get for you today? Bubble gum?
Pantone. Pentos.
What's that?
Pento.
Oh, I get you flying saucers. I know, the ones with the sherbet in the middle. I've got us some Jaffa cakes.
Oh, good.
What do you have for dinner?
What did you have?
Spaghetti bolognese and chips.
We had meat pie, mashed potatoes and peas.
Yeah, I couldn't touch it.
Didn't like the look of the salads much either. I must go for a sit down. Have you got the, This is what you want to get yourself. I wouldn't advise using the stuff out there.
I'll ring me daughter and ask her to bring me in a roll.
You know you can have visitors any time you like, as long as they're out by 8 o'clock. I don't have any myself. A few of them come at first, with bunches of grapes and bottles of aftershave. But once they realise you're not in bed, they soon stop bothering.
Here's the doctor again.
Shall I see you now, Dennis?
Can I have a word with you, Doctor?
Yes. Shall I see you later?
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
Do you like a game of table tennis, Carmel?
Oh, no, I don't go in for that sort of thing.
It's quite good fun. Haven't you ever played it before?
No, I haven't. And I don't intend to start at my time of life.
You ever played Scrabble?
I have not. Look, it's no good trying that old nonsense on with me. When you're talking to me, you're not talking to an idiot. I'm not playing any games and I'm not messing about making a lot of old ashtrays.
What do you do in your spare time, Carmel?
Spare time? Big God, you must be joking. If ever I have a minute to myself, I sit down in the chair and watch television. It was different before the children were born. I was always out dancing.
Ballroom dancing?
Oh, yes. There isn't a step I can't do.
That's great. We're going to have a social here in 2 weeks' time.
Social? What in here?
There to get them all up for a dance.
I don't know about that. Sister, I've got a bit of a funny feeling in my stomach.
Do you feel sick?
No, but I'm churning up inside. Do you think it could be a side effect from leaving off the tablets?
Sounds like a bit of indigestion. I'll get you a drop of white liquid. This should settle your stomach down. Shit.
How are you feeling, Dennis?
I don't know, really. All right, I suppose.
Have you been sleeping well?
Oh, yes.
Eating all right?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. I wouldn't be, though, if I had to rely on hospital food.
You've been getting out and about a bit more.
Only down the shops. I usually get the bits and pieces for the others. Oh, yes. And I might be going to the pictures one night this week.
Good. The more you get out and enjoy yourself, the better. Have you thought any more about what you're going to do when you leave here?
Oh, no. Not much.
You'll be going back to the same job, won't you?
I suppose so. Eventually. I don't much fancy it, though. Not with everyone knowing about my wife and that.
You should be able to go back to work quite soon.
I don't see how I can. Not if I keep on bursting into tears every couple of hours.
I think you should be ready to go home on Friday week.
Go home for good, you mean?
Well, you've been here for 10 weeks now, Dennis.
I can't have been.
You came in on 14th of September.
Are you sure?
Yes, quite sure. Now, what about last weekend? You were going to spend it at home. Why didn't you go?
I did.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did. I made the journey, went in, sat down, stared at the four walls. I can't stop there on my own.
You could get someone to share with you.
Who?
People are always looking for somewhere to live. You could advertise.
No, thanks. I don't want a lot of Pakistanis coming round. You can't say no to them nowadays.
Couldn't you get a relative to stay with you for a while?
No one wants to stay with me. I'm too much of a bleeding liability. Why do I have to go? There's plenty of them been in here a lot longer than me.
You'll be coming back as an outpatient, Dennis.
What's the good of that? You haven't done anything for me while I've been in here.
What do you expect me to do for you? I can't wave a magic wand.
I thought this was supposed to be a psychiatric hospital. For all the psychiatry you've done on me, I might as well be staying at Butlins. You haven't even told me what's wrong with me.
I've told you what I think you should do. It's up to you to get on with it.
Well, I will. I'll get myself organised. If you'll just let me stay a little bit longer.
We're short of beds, Dennis.
What if I went private and paid for a bed? I've got a few bob put aside.
We don't have any private patients here.
Well, you know what I'll do if I have to go back there? I'll do what I did before. I've got a whole cupboard full of pills at home, you know. Tranquilizers, painkillers, antidepressants, antibiotics and all. I'll swallow the whole lot in one go.
I'll see you in a few days.
Oh, no, you won't. I want to see someone higher up. You're not a proper psychiatrist. I can't talk to you. None of the others can, neither. We all think you're nothing but a posh little twerp. There you are. That's for you. Go down the chemist and buy yourself a bottle of Vosine.
How'd you get on?
Oh, fine. Absolutely marvellous. I've got to go home next week.
Oh, really? Oh, dear. Well, I'm going to miss you, Dennis. Well, probably it's all for the best.
I'm sorry. Such take no notice of.
Would you like a nice cup of tea?
Or shall we have some coffee for a change?
I don't want nothing.
Nurse.
What's the matter, Dennis? Do you want to tell me about it? Come on.
They always do something like that. Whenever anybody's told to go, they have a tantrum. One woman cut all her clothes into pieces so she wouldn't have anything to go home in. They put her in a white overall and sent her home by taxi. I wonder if Dennis will be here for the social.
I dread to think what kind of social you could have in this place.
Oh, we've had them in here before. They all come in off the other wards and the doctors come out and they have a dance and we have a buffet and loads of lemonade punch. You can't have anything stronger, of course, because of the alcoholics.
I might be able to sneak a little drop of something in. Good evening.
Oh, what's all this doing on the floor?
It's Dennis's luggage, nurse. He hasn't quite finished his packing yet.
He's got no business leaving it till this time of night. He should have been out of here by this morning.
He had to wait for some of his washing to dry.
Fine way to pack.
Nurse, he's locked himself in the lavatory.
Who has?
Dennis, I've been banging on the door, but he won't answer.
All right. Thank you, Walter. You go and sit down and leave it to me.
You can't actually lock yourself in. All they have to do is push hard and the door springs open just in case anyone does something silly.
I'll have those. Thank you very much. How many have you taken? I said, how many have you taken?
I haven't taken any.
Good. Now, get up off there and go and wash your hands and face. And smarten yourself up. You look a sight.
I've got a lot more tablets at home.
Well, you better go home and kill yourself. Or ring up for a taxi. All right, Dennis. Have it your own way. I won't call a taxi. I'll send for a policeman instead. I've sent for a policeman. That ought to bring him to his senses.
Shall I take some of his luggage out to the front?
No, you stop where you are, my lad.
I think it's a crying shame. The poor man. They've no right to be throwing him out like that. He's nowhere near to being cured.
Well, I've never seen anyone go out of here cured. I think I'll go and see if there's any milk left. If there is, I'll make us a cup of Born Vita.